Welcome back to Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. A Nitish storm hit Guwahati and threatened to blow Chennai away, but Chennai stayed strong, waited for the storm to pass, and they restricted Rajasthan to 182 in their 20 overs. Nitish Rana getting 81 of 36, Parag 37 of 28, Sanju Samson 20 of 16. Noor Ahmed, the pick of the bowlers, 2 for 28 in his 4. Rana, 2 for 28 in his 4. And Khalil Ahmed, 2 for 38 in his 4. They made it all sound and ring very well, the bowlers. I'm back with Lisa and Michael. Firstly, we have to bow down to the queen of the prediction game, Lisa.
Yeah,
well
thanks,
done.
Guys. Thanks.
Well. How does it feel to just make a habit of winning this prediction game? I would never know.
Yeah, you would never know. It's all right. I'm happy to, work with you. We can study my notebook and go through the numbers, do a bit of crunching of the abs.
It's not just me that you have to work with. You'll have to work with Rajasthan as well. Will it rub off on Rajasthan? Because they really need this win, and they are not going to be very happy with the runs that they've got. They would have liked more.
Yeah, it was set up, wasn't it, to get over 200 when we went into the com box. They were going at 10 runs and over, looking really comfortable. Nitish Rana, excellent innings. He played with real freedom and he looked like he was going to go all the way. But somehow Chennai, mainly because of Noor Ahmed and Rana, the fact that they've picked up, 4 for 56 off their 8 overs at that back end just changed the game, spun it on its head, and Chennai now in with a real chance.
Michael, like Lisa said, the first 10 overs was all looking good for them. They were 96 for 2. And then Noor Ahmed, Rana, Khalil, they just got going. And one thing led to another and the wickets kept tumbling.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see whether it's a good score. I mean, only a couple of nights ago, Chennai couldn't get anywhere near 197. So they're in the game, Rajasthan, without any question. You know, the quality of Noor Ahmed and Rana, Khalil Ahmed, you could see that there is a little bit something there. This particular slow ball started to just hold up slightly. If the dew comes into play and, the ball skids on, I think Chennai should be able to chase down this total. But you have to say, Nitish Rana, that was a tremendous innings. That was pure striking and skill and attacking Ashwin as soon as he came out there, and he got them off to such a flying start. When you think when he was out, the score was 124 in the 11.3 overs. Now you're thinking at least another 80, in the back end of the innings. But I just keep looking. I mean, you look at those numbers on the screen. That 20 for 1 in the period 7 to 10, run rate of 5. That's something that shouldn't happen when you're only 1 wicket down. So they kind of just stalled a little bit there. The back end, again, they lose too many wickets. I think Rajasthan will know they've got a positive total to defend, but they'll be looking at the numbers on the screen and thinking, we could easily have got another 20.
We'll have a look at that batting card, Lisa, because Nitish obviously stood out with that spectacular knock of his. Parag will not be very happy with. He would have liked to take, the team forward. He had started off well, 37 of 28. He would have liked to stay on longer. And Yashasvi Jaiswal, we touched upon him in the com box, but he's going to be really disappointed that he couldn't get going.
Yeah, he's a guy that's used to scoring runs, right? Doesn't matter what format, doesn't matter what team he's playing for, he's used to scoring runs. So this won't sit well with him. But if you look at that batting card again, you can see that they've got a couple of starts. I think Rana being able to ruffle the feathers of Parag, hitting him, and then the very next delivery getting him out. And then we were talking about Jurel. Why is he coming up? And why is Hasaranga still going ahead of Shimron Hetmeyer? So from our point of view, we were like, put in the left-hander a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Then Jadeja doesn't come on to bowl, so he gets kind of kept being pushed away. So I don't know what data they're looking at.
I think we're in our rights at Cricbuzz to send Rajasthan an email and just offer them a piece of advice.
Dear RR.
I don't know, dear RR or dear Kumar or dear Rahul. I don't know who the owner of Rajasthan is now, but I think an email from the official Cricbuzz team just to say the Hasaranga move up the order is not working. He strikes at under 100 in his career, so I've no idea what they're thinking by moving him up when you've got Hetmeyer, who is a prolific striker of a cricket ball. Why he's now just become a last 3 or 4 over player is beyond me. You know, you've just got to get these players in earlier.
But do you think this question should be asked to Riyan Parag, or he's too young a captain to be making these decisions?
He might not have an email.
Yeah.
Snapchat? Shall we do it
Yeah,
via
I think
Snapchat
we might have to DM it. We'll
something?
DM him on Insta. I think that's the way to
You'll
go.
just slide in.
Yeah, we'll have to slide in, yeah, and just hope that he picks it up. He obviously won't be. I don't think he'll be following us, so we're going to have to try and make it quite prominent. In terms
Well, if Michael slides into the DMs, they will be.
Maybe I'll do it. Yeah, I'll just go into his DMs later and just say, look, just a little bit
Heads
of
up,
advice.
yeah.
It's just we've noticed a couple of things in the last 2 games, but it's been a similar trend.
Well, there's someone who doesn't need that email, and that's Nitish, because he was really spectacular today. These are especially those inside-out shots that he was hitting. Every time he did that, I was just going, wow.
Yeah, he is a wonderful striker, and we saw that in previous editions as well. It's almost like he's one step ahead. Once he gets into the groove and classy bat, especially in T20 cricket, they're actually, I know exactly what they're going to do. I know exactly where they're going to bowl. I'm going to manoeuvre myself here and I'm going to put it where I need to put it. And that's exactly what he did. So it was a really clever, powerful innings. But if he's a really great player, he will be kicking himself that he got himself out and now has opened the door.
Well, it's not about the 100, but he was set up to get, because he had all the overs remaining. He got out in the 11th over. So he'd just be so upset because he could have gone and gotten a really big score.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be upset, but also he's played great. To score 81 so quickly and to hit so many boundaries, and he's got such a gift to be able to play. When he bats like that, you think, how come he doesn't do it more consistently and more regular? Because he's got all the game against the seamers, against the spinners. He played with Ashwin. He kept on sweeping, and then he hit him over extra cover, and Ashwin then eventually, he had the LBW that it was given out, and then he reviewed it was just sliding down the leg. He played that reverse sweep that I think he thought he had him as well, and then suddenly Ashwin, I've got to have to go a bit slow, and he put him over extra cover. And I think Ashwin at that stage was going, I've got no answers. I've been playing this game for a long time and just having one of those days that I've got no answers. And then he just saw him coming. And as soon as he saw him coming, brilliant from Ashwin, because he just went and fired it. And the hands of Dhoni, well, they're just melting, aren't they? The ball's just melting on. And he goes, thank you very much, another stumping. But it was a brilliant innings. And in around 2 hours, we'll know whether it's an innings that has won the game for Rajasthan, or has he not had enough support from the rest of the players to get them up to that 200 that, the pitch players that did in the first 10 overs in particular, they might need that. But they are up against a batting unit that hasn't got a huge amount of confidence. There's not many of the Chennai side that you can look at and go, yeah, they're in fine form. So I still think it's going to be a tricky chase for Chennai.
We'll have a look at Chennai's bowling. We did speak about Noor Ahmed. We did speak about Khalil a little bit, but all in all, with Noor Ahmed, Khalil, Ravindra Jadeja getting that 1 wicket and Rana getting those 2 wickets, they're going to be happy with how the youngsters have done.
Yeah, simply because they know exactly the point of the game to bring them in, when they're going to be most effective. Noor Ahmed, okay, let's wait again. It's a little bit like Kuldeep Yadav that we saw in the first game. Let's hold them back a little bit. We don't need to bowl them the 7th over as soon as the power play is finished. Let's just wait a little bit longer. And Rana, as you mentioned in the com box, there's a certain blueprint that works really well, because when you're a new batter coming in, you do not want to face those toe crushers and then those slower deliveries that he seems to execute more often than not. So, they just need to figure things out and make sure that there's not too much damage at the top within the first, 6 or 7 overs.
But Michael, that one name in that bowling card, Ravichandra Ashwin, he's not going to be happy because he was expensive. And he wasn't looking like the Ash we are used to. We know he tries new things, tries different things. He is a spin scientist. But what's going wrong with Ash?
I just think he's bowling in a new era. That they, I guess, a few years ago, they'd probably show him a lot of respect. And in team meetings, you say, we'll probably if we can hit Ashwin for 24 to 28 and not give him too many wickets, we'll take that. These guys now don't even think like that. It's like, how can we damage him? How can we whack him? He's not ragging it square. They've obviously probably seen all his deliveries many, many times over, so maybe they're picking it out of the hand a little bit better, and if you do that, you get more chance to hit the ball. I just think it's a different approach in terms of mentality. I just think, it's in their zone. It's like, right, okay, we don't care about that.
Don't care who it is.
Don't care, because the name's irrelevant.
Yes.
It's just the ball that's coming down. I mean, it's a great mentality to have that, we always used to say, try and face the ball and not the name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it used to be quite funny saying that to an England side when Shane Warne's ball, you can see him. It's quite hard to kind of convince players that you just face the ball. But I think this modern player, they genuinely just look at the ball and think, right, it can be whacked. It doesn't matter what the name is.
But Ash has the name of being the spin scientist, and we know that he always tries to be ahead of the game. He tries to innovate and do something new. So yes, he is a senior player, but he's also someone who has the experience to adapt, Lisa. Do you think we'll see that in the coming games?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, since his Test retirement, he hasn't really played, has he? So whilst you can train all you like in the nets, and we spoke about everyone looks $1 million, maybe not bowlers in the nets. They tend to go for a fair bit. Batters just think it's a free game. No one's ever out in the field. But it might take him just a little bit longer to get going in the tournament. No doubt he'll look at some vision, he'll look at some data potentially, given that he's a spin scientist. Okay, well, what are my deliveries that are getting hit? Is there somewhere else that I need to bowl, or is there a certain pace that I need to bowl on certain pitches? So let's just see. He's clever enough to be able to fight his way out of it. So let's just wait and see.
Well, Michael, 183 to get for CSK. The last time they were chasing against RCB, it just, like you said, they didn't hit a punch at all. What can they learn from the RCB game? Because they're chasing, again, a score which they haven't managed to get since 2021.
Well, break down the chase, win the power play. Come out with a real intent in the power play to try and cause some damage.
And who's opening for you?
It'll be Ratchin and who's opening for me? I'd put... The skipper would go in if it was down to me, but I would think they'll stick with what they've done. That's pretty much what they do, Chennai. And they've just got to come out and I think they will. I can't imagine that they'll go in the same way as they did in the last game.
Well,
I'm intrigued to see.
Come out.
I'm intrigued to see Jofra Archer. He's a bowler that is a bit concerning because he's been travelling around, but this may be his night. If he's got that mindset of, right, if I win the power play for Rajasthan, it'd go a long way for us winning the game, and that's all he's got to think about. Don't think about from 7 to 20 at this stage. Just go and try and win the power play for your team. And I think whoever wins the power play, either team, I think will end up winning the game.
Well, the captain's not out to bat. So for Chennai to win the power play, they will be banking on Rahul Tripathi. There's been a lot that's spoken about him. So he has a point to prove as well. Maybe it could be Archer's day, but maybe it could be Rahul Tripathi's day.
One thing that, being involved in the WPL, you're in and around the players a lot more. And commentators, we don't see that. We don't see the mindset. We don't see them training as much. We don't know the build-up and the conversations of how the team has come together. So Chennai, in their infinite wisdom, have seen something in Rahul Tripathi. So they're right more often than not. It does seem strange. We're all still scratching our head. Maybe tonight's the night where he just proves us all wrong.
Well, that leaves me to what should I be guessing for the guessing game? If it's going to be Rahul Tripathi's night or not. I don't know if I can prove all of you wrong because I'm very short on confidence, as you all can see.
It's all right. You'll be okay.
Michael.
I'm going to say 55.
Okay. You thought this through, Lisa?
66.
I'm going to say 51.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, going away from that. Yeah, I like it.
Michael's expressions have made my confidence go from here to here.
Yeah, I thought you were going to sit in the middle.
Yeah, just go the safe
And I thought you were going to say 61 because that gives you the chance of Lisa's kind of number.
That was your theory,
It was
wasn't
my
it?
strategy. Yeah, it was. But anyway, I'm going to stick to 51 and just hope that luck changes because all I need is luck. We will be coming back in the Combox. You all know the drill. Do join us at the 10-hour point. And thank you so much for watching. Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ ಚೆನ್ನೈ Hyderabad Express नेताजी फॉरवर्ड